Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today is actually going to be a business video. So what we like to do in our off season. Now, I like to use the term off season a little light because there really isn't an off season. Are we shooting weddings? No. Most people don't like to get married in the winter because it's a little chilly, but we are a big fan of winter weddings. We got married in the winter. We got married December 3rd. I think weddings any time of the year are always going to be beautiful. Honestly, a lot of people, if you're going to choose destination, wintertime is the best time to go because it gives all of your guests like a warm place to go when it's cold outside. And I mean, honestly, sometimes you can really luck out with snow. Sometimes snow can be an issue because you might have, guests who don't want to drive in the snow. Those are all things that you kind of need to think about. But usually between the months of like the beginning of December to late March, we don't have any weddings, which is the case this year for us. We had one December 1st, no, December 2nd. We did have a wedding, but then we went all of December, January, February, March. We're gonna go 4 months without having any weddings whatsoever. Now, what we love to do in the off season is number one, networking. I love to try to see as many vendor friends as I possibly can because during those busy seasons, we're too busy to see our vendor friends. I mean, all of us are working. We're all trying to make sure that our couples are having the absolute best wedding experience ever and trying to put all of our effort into those relationships. And so our vendor friendships kind of get put on the back burner. So something that we did this year is I hosted a Valentine's Day brunch at the house where I invited all of my favorite lady friends who are in the wedding industry over, and we just kind of networked with each other, just hung out. I did some headshots for them so that they could have some updated headshots for their website or Instagram or whatever. And it was just a really good time to get together and just see what everyone's been up to. Another thing that you can do during the off season as a photographer or wedding vendor is to put together a style shoot. Style shoots are really fun. It gives you some creative work. It allows you to just, not have the pressure of a wedding day. So, you can really take your time and get like those perfect style details because you're not on a time crunch. And it's just another way to, again, network with your fellow vendors. Maybe you guys can get published on an awesome blog. You basically get to dream up like, what would be my dream wedding I would love to photograph, and so you get to create that space, and it's just really a lot of fun. We also go through our books and we see what months are going to be our high points and our low points for the entire year. So during low points in wedding season, we want to make sure that we're compensating with portrait sessions or workshops or something like that so that we're constantly having income come in. Otherwise, I mean, you really can't go a whole month without having any income come in, or else how are you going to pay your bills? How do you pay your mortgage? How do you pay for your internet, your car? I mean, all these things keep happening. They don't slow down just because wedding season does. So that is definitely something that we do. We try to figure out how we can boost our portrait sales and how we can maybe we'll host a workshop during the spring, which is what we did. We ended up, we're hosting a workshop in March. It's going to be our first ever wine and workshop, so it'll be really fun. Only ladies signed up, so it's just going to be a bunch of women are going to come over the house, and we are going to teach them how to use their camera in manual mode and how to find great light and how to edit their pictures. So I'm sure we're going to be offering that again, maybe in the fall. It all kind of depends on what our year ends up looking like, but if we can allow it, we ended up selling out really quickly. So I know that the demand is there. It might be something that we end up offering. So if that's something that you're interested in and you're local or you would like to travel here, go to the link in our Instagram bio or just go on our website. And if you go to the education section, you can sign up for our newsletter for that, so you'll be the first people to hear about it. Another thing that we love to do is, I always love to do this around New Year's Eve, is to create a blog post of our favorite wedding images for the whole year prior. So that's something that we do every New Year's Eve. We have that ready to go for New Year's Day. So it's the first blog post of the entire year, every single year, which is just a fun tradition that we like to do. It also allows us to update our portfolio and our website. So we take all of those images that we put in the blog and we'll pick out which ones go best on our website, which things kind of need switched around. We will update all of our pricing information. Usually we have invested in ourselves enough, whether it's equipment or education or anything that we have invested into the business, into ourselves. Usually it's kind of time for us to have a raise. Everybody else in their job, if you work really hard, you get a promotion. That's kind of how it works here too. If we work really hard and we invest and we, continue to fine tune our craft, we also deserve a raise as well. So that's kind of the time that we decide to do that, because usually the way that it works for us, by January, let's say January 2019, we're already booked up for 2019. So we are now thinking about 2020 and what we can offer to our 2020 brides in order for them to have an even better experience. And with that, usually our price has to change because our products are better. The gift, we love to give surprises throughout the wedding experience. So usually those wedding gifts are a little bit more pricey because we want to give them the best of the best, but there's also, you have to think about your cost of sales and paying your employees and your overhead costs. All that has to go into effect. So we'll usually do all of our pricing guide updating as well. Any weddings that we loved throughout the year that I didn't have time to submit into a publication, I will go ahead and I'll do that during this off season. Any of the larger publications, usually you can't do through 2 Bright Lights, which is what I love to use for submitting to blogs. Some of my favorites actually aren't on 2 Bright Lights, so I have to manually go in and specifically apply to that one publication. So I'll do all that kind of stuff during the off season as well. Another way that we also love to network is I'll actually just reach out to people who I've been following on Instagram for a while, who maybe our circles don't actually overlap the way that I would love them to. I'll reach out to them and I'll ask them, hey, do you want to go get lunch? Do you want to get dinner? Do you want to get wine? It's just a great way for us to create new relationships with people who we wouldn't normally work with, but who we've always dreamed of working with. The off season is a really, really great time to do that because usually it's their off season too. And last but not least, the best part about the off season is having a little bit of time, little downtime to recharge, reset, relax, spend time with family and friends, get to reorganize the place. I mean, I literally just spent yesterday doing absolutely nothing but taking down the entire office closet and reorganizing it because there was just so much stuff that I don't even use anymore, and it's just been sitting in there for 2 years and it just needed to go. So now I can actually fit some more things in there, and it's all those little things that you really don't realize that you don't have enough time to do throughout the year that now you actually get to do it. So things like maybe some days I'll sleep in, maybe some days I will just be at the house and I'm not going to do any work at all. That kind of sounds, it's so funny because when I say that out loud, I almost feel kind of guilty. But then I think about everybody else that I know who has a job, and when they go home on the weekends or at night, are you still working? No, you're not. You're not. And neither should I. I think everybody should have at least 2 days of their week to recharge, to avoid burnout. During the off season, that's a time that we actually get to really focus on having downtime, whereas during the busy seasons, sometimes we just, in order for us to keep our client experience the way that we do, we have a really, really great fast turnaround for our wedding photos, and we like to keep it that way because we are just as excited as you are for you to get your images back. So in order for us to keep the turnaround time that we do, sometimes downtime days don't really happen as often as we would like them to. But we know that during the off season, we're gonna have a little bit more wiggle room with that. So we just push on through. We give it our 170%, maybe 200%. Give it our all throughout the on seasons, during the busy seasons, to make sure that everybody is beyond happy and that we're not ever falling behind. I get major anxiety when things start piling up. So that's something that I always make sure doesn't happen. So if you guys have any tips on what you guys love to do in the off season, leave a comment below. I would love to hear. We're always looking for ways to improve our business yearly ups and downs. I would love to hear what you guys do to relax. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We put out new videos every single Tuesday. So hopefully we will see you next Tuesday. We'll be here. Bye.